Well, there are several boxes of mass markets this trip around. So we're going to go through the first box today and the next box next week. These are old paperbacks. And I don't think they're qualified as antique because they're not that old. I haven't really looked at them. I just opened the box. And I love getting these surprise boxes. Don't you love surprise boxes? Because I have no idea what's in them when they give me these boxes. I have no idea. And we're working on, I just contacted Patriot House, and they're going to take some. So not only are we giving them to CHKD, but now we're giving them to Patriot House. It's similar to McDonald's house. So we're going to be giving them some of the other boxes from other weeks, other books. I'm not too sure that these qualify, but let's go through them together and we'll see what's going on here. Welcome to the D. Louise book series. I'm Christina, K-R-S-T-I-N-A. This is where I read books, talk about books, no special effects, no theme music, none of that fancy smash stuff going on here. And we've got some old books today. Old books. And some of these, for their age, are pretty good. Got a little yellowing going on here. Let's see. NORAH LOFTS, Out of Danger. This was $1.25. And I'll have to write all these down. I should have brought paper. Oh look, it's got a certificate stamp in here. You can get any title in Fawcett Crest, Fawcett Premier, or Fawcett Gold Medal Edition. Simply send title and retail price for 15 cents. That was to cover shipping and handling. 1972. That's why it was so cheap. Charlotte was acquitted of murder, but no one was sure she was innocent, not even Charlotte. Years before, her little stepbrother disappeared and was found murdered. Circumstantial evidence implicated Charlotte, and even though she was acquitted, Charlotte Cornwell was notorious at 16. Now Charlotte has a new name, a new life. She taught a homeland, a nice school for nice young women, but suddenly some of the things that began to happen around her weren't nice at all. The old suspicions were returning, and this time Charlotte was not sure she could escape the consequences. I should have put the box over there. NORAH LOFTS, The Homecoming. Spun out against the enchanting backdrop at 15th century England, this superb title unfolds the new adventures of Sir Godfrey Talboys and the two women who love him. His wife Sibylla, welcoming him home after 6 long years, learns she must now share their home with the exotic young creature Tanya, who has saved Godfrey's life. It does not take a second glance to see that Tanya is about to bear a child. What Sybil does not know is that the child is Godfrey's. Okay. $19.75. Alyssa Craig, The Wrong Right. Miss Sir Cardrick Rice's 90th birthday party. Maddock and Jarrett Rice couldn't dream of it. It's May Day in Wales. The ancient Beltane, the harps are strumming, the feast is spread, and rides galore are gathered for the revels. There's Rice the patriarch, Rice the opera star, Rice the actress, Rice the friend of the lesser demons, and a sinister someone with a lust for the family treasure and most ingenious secret weapon. Rice goes all to pieces It's Rice, the Mountie, Detective Inspector Murdoch Rice of the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, and his wife Janet, who must sort out the hideous Fargo of sorcery, thievery, and wicked treacherous murder. Okay. 1992. Not too bad condition. Oh, I should have brought the tape. I had it over here somewhere. NORAH LOFTS. A marriage event. What does it say? Silver nutmeg. It's not what it says on the back. Silver nutmeg. A marriage of vengeance. Spice trader Everett Hand used his fortune to buy a bride, Annabeth, daughter of the proud Dutch family, which had humiliated him as a boy. But when Annabeth came to Han on the East Island of Bana, he found he had made a fatal mistake and swore that Annabeth would pay for it. Desperate, Annabeth turns to an outsider for the love her marriage could not offer. Crime? (1947), republished in 1967. Charlotte MacLeod, Something in the Water. Professor Peter Shandy, New England's homegrown Hercule Poirot, has journeyed to the Maine coast in search of a mystery flower and to escape his wife's all-female house party. Now supping at a country inn, he witnesses sudden death as the town bully keels over into his chicken pot pie. Is it foul play? Perhaps, but Shady's investigation talents are already occupied with another puzzle. Outside of town, on an ancient farm, he has found giant lupines where none should be growing and a woman of great age who looks decades younger. Is there something in the water? Don't know. 1994. I think I need tape. I think I need some tape. I think we need a back cover. Suspense, romance, adventure, a tale of love and pearl in an haunted old English mansion. Dark Water by Dorothy Eden. I don't think. (1963). Mary Roberts Rhinehart, The Breaking Point, a novel of romance and intrigue. 60 cents. How long could love hold a woman to a man without a past? A man who could not be sure he wasn't a murderer. A man who would never be sure of anything until he reached the breaking point. Let's see. 1950. It's also green. Just thought I'd mention that. I'm never gonna fit all these on here. Joseph Tay, A Shilling for Candles. One of the eternal greats of mystery, a don't miss. 50 cents. Movie stars, astrology, Balkan politics, crapbox religion, a marvelous 7-year-old girl, and a magnificent corpse, richly rewarding an absolute joy. I don't know how. 1964. To love and be wise, Josephine Tay. The whole art colony at Salcott St. Mary would have agreed with popular authoress Lavina Finch when she remarked about her guest, Leslie Searle. I'm sure he must have something very wicked in ancient Greece. This too young, rich, and famous American had created havoc at Salcott. He broke up an engagement, ruined a smug broadcaster, insulted a leading playwright, and caused a public scandal. 125, large type edition, 1950. So you want to know what they were reading in the 50s? Here you go. Frances Parkinson Case, Sylvia Carey. She was young and lovely, as fragile as a hot orchid, but she lived each day as though small quiet demons pursued her. Who was she? Why had she come to this obscure New England farm with secrets that haunted her? Don't. Oh, good God. This is like font 2. 1962? Font 2. Where? The Wall? What is this? Mary Robert Rhinehart? The Wall. The queen of them all, with more than 40 books to her credit and sales totaling 8.5 million copies in Dell Book editions alone. It is a wonder that Mary Roberts is the first lady of American detective fiction. Well, not anymore. What is she? Oh, she's got a piece of paper. You know, you would probably enjoy watching her run around more than me. 1963. Just a second. The child is chasing a piece of paper. I know you would like to watch her. I need to finish the pile, though. Look how big that pile is. NORAH laughs again. Bride of MOAT House. It began when he met Antonia. Richard Cowan fell in love, wildly passionate, and the loving Antonia returned his love. But Richard and Antonia were penniless and too spoiled and selfish to live as ordinary mortals. Okay. 1959. Grace Livingstone Hill. A novel of enduring romance. I think this. 75 cents. John Cameron knew Ruth MacDonald was out of his league. He was a simple soldier seeking to fulfill his duty. She was well-known daughter of a wealthy family surrounded by friends, parties, and glitter. Still, neither of them would forget the special bond they shared in childhood. All right, the first copy was 1919. This copy was redone in 1992. I wish I could show you her with this stupid piece of paper. She's all over the place with this stupid piece of paper. All right, let's go. Mary Roberts Rhinehart, The Yellow Room. On a cold day in spring, lovely Carol Spencer arrived in Maine to reopen the summer family. Wait a second. To reopen the family summer mansion. Once on a she was frightened by a strange odor a fire that lingered in the empty room. She traced it at last to a closet where it mingled with the smell of kerosene, burnt paint, and something else. Behind that door was a special terror that Carol would remember for the rest of her life. Okay. You turn the camera on as she stops moving. 1945. Dorothy L. Sayers, Bushman's Honeymoon. Murder is hardly the best way for Lord Peter and his bride, the famous mystery writer Harriet Vane, to start their honeymoon. It all began when the former owner of the newly acquired estate is found quite nastily dead in the cellar. Okay. 1965. Original done 1937. Grace Livingston Hall, the substitute guest. Handsome Alan Monteith is not spending Christmas Eve as he intended. Rather than celebrating a party with friends, he takes on life and death mission of mercy in the mountains. Then his car breaks down, and lost and exhausted, he must struggle through a raging blizzard to find help. First published in 1936, redone in 1991. Grace Livingston Hall, the best man. Cyril Gordon, a handsome government agent, possesses vital information in the wrong hands would threaten national security. He is being pursued by desperate men who will stop at nothing to get the information from him. Cyril seeks refuge in a church where he stumbles upon a wedding party. Amazingly, everyone seems delighted to see Cyril, mistaking him for the best man, and he plays along. Okay? Originally published in 1908, republished in 1989. Grace Livingston Hall again, The Spice Box. Young, winsome Janice Whitmore has nowhere to turn when her ailing sister dies. She has no money and no one to protect from her unwelcome advances of her brother-in-law. Frightened and alone, Janice flees for safety into a fierce winter storm. Last battered by the winds, Janice finally collapses in a snowdrift. Just in time for Dr. Sterling to rescue her. First published in 1943, republished in 1992. Charlotte MacLeod, Exit the Milkman. Professor Jim Feldster will do anything for his cows and students of dairy management, and anything to avoid an evening at home with his bossy, house-proud wife, Muriel. A member of every lodge in the country, he's out of the house most evenings, and on this particular night, escaping to the meeting of Scarlet Runners on the way, he bumps into Peter Shandy, who's out strolling with his cat, Jane Austen. Okay? 2003. I don't get it. Crime on the Coast and No Flowers by Request. Dorothy L. Sanders and John Dickerson Carr. Crime on the Coast brings murder and intrigue to a raucous seaside resort in the classic mystery with a strange twist. A mistaken victim and elusive heroine. No Flowers by Request sets the scene for positively poisonous family relations when murder pays a visit to a quiet country house inhabited by British eccentrics. 1954. Republished in 1987. We may have to break this box into two. The Gunsmith's Wife, Jean Platty. Jane Shores well knew the reputation of the notorious libertine Edward the Fourth of England. His romantic escapades were the talk of the land. The beautiful young wife of the goldsmith had nothing but contempt for the strumpets who allowed themselves to be seduced by the king. 1950. Oh, here's one you know. V.C. Andrews, If There Be Thorns. Let's see if we can. You know, I hate it when they cover up the words. Don't you hate it when they cover up the words? Let's see if we can get this. Let's see. Chris and Kathy made such a loving home for a 14-year-old jury, so handsome, so gentle, and for Bart, who has such a dazzling imagination for a 9-year-old. Then the lights came on in the house next door. Soon the old lady in the black was there watching them, guarded by the strange old butler. Soon she had Bart over for cookies and ice cream and asked him to call her grandmother. It just sounds spooky just reading that part. 1981. This lady is they still sell her books and still make movies from her books today. Oh, Jesus, another one with the stuff covered up. You know, if they put one barcode over the other barcode, then we wouldn't have this problem. And I'm always afraid I'm going to rip off the cover, too. Ugh. Ugh. Daughter of the Forest, Juliet, Marillier. Lovely Saoirse is the seventh child and only daughter of Lord Cullum of Seven Waters. Bereft of her mother, she is comforted by her 6 brothers who love and protect her. Saoirse is the light in their lives. They are determined that she know only contentment. But Sasha's joy is shattered when her father's is bewitched by his new wife, an evil enchantress who binds her brothers with a terrible spell, a spell that only Sasha can lift by staying silent. If she speaks before she completes the quest set to her by the fair folk and their queen, the Lady of Forest, she will lose her brothers forever. 2000. The Tiger in the Smoke, a spine-chilling manhunt through London's sinister underworld, caps Albert's Campion investigation in this case of extremely perplexing identity. A snapshot has stopped Meg Eglinbrudy's wedding plans to millionaire Joffrey Levitt dead, and she has no one else but her charming, eroded friend Champion to turn to when the photos keep coming. 1952. Republished in 1995. We haven't even made a dent in this box yet. Francis Parkinson Keyes, Along a Little Way. One of the world's greatest storytellers about Parkinson Keyes, but it doesn't say what the book is about. 1940. Dorothy L. Sayers. A fleeing killer, green mustache, a corpse clutching a note with a misplaced vowels, a telephone with the unmistakable ring of death. A hopeful heir's dreams of fortune done in nature beats him to the punch. A playwright's unwatered down honor that is thicker than blood. 1960, originally done in 1940, redone in 1968. Not a. Oh, the pages are falling out. NORAH LOFTS, Blossom Like the Rose. Eli Makers, a blond giant who worshipped only his land and his god, took his wife Lydia, who hid her shining beauty beneath the drab homespun Eli demanded. Okay. These pages are falling out. Place 1670. Copyright is 1971. We're just going to skip these. NORAH LOFTS. And NORAH LOFTS. The Deadly Gift. And Knight's Acre. 1975. 1956. Cloud of Witness. Doris Saves. We've done her already. Originally 1927. Republished in 1987. Charlotte McLeod. The Balloon Man. Sarah Killing has her nephew's wedding perfectly planned, including an outdoor reception at the Boston mansion, but she doesn't anticipate a hot air balloon landing on the wedding tent or the squashed body beneath it. Even psychic cousin Theo doesn't predict the reappearance of the long-lost Kelly rubies among the wedding gifts. 1998. NORAH LOFTS again. Crown of the ALOES. And there's a map in here of Spain. 1973. NORAH LOFTS. LETTY. Mrs. Roan's house was officially a coffee house, but the serving girls were unusually pretty and extremely available to the male customers. Okay. And a font of 2. 1968. So, was this supposed to be for girls or for boys to read? It doesn't matter. I don't know. Frances Parkinson Keyes again, Senator Marlowe's daughter. Lovely Faith Marlowe, daughter of the U.S. Senator and his faithless, ambitious wife, grew up in the glitter of Europe's capitals amid the intrigues and gaiety of the international society. Her marriage to a nobleman brought excitement, then disillusionment, then the frightening knowledge that she loved another man. 1933 originally and republished in 1960. It's not bad for a book from 60. Books are older than I am. Another Francis Key, Fielding Folly. From the moment she met him, Eunice Hale knew that her fate would be linked to dashing Francis Fielding, the impoverished master of one of the South's most beautiful and glamorous plantations. But it wasn't until a round-the-world honeymoon that Eunice learned the sorrow and heartbreak were a fact of life with the only man she could ever love. Red. Oh, good God, this must be a font of 2. 1940. How teeny tiny that font is. Francis Parkinson Keyes, the explorer. Red. Let's see. (1964). Romance, adventure, and passion surge through this dramatic tale of famous explorer, the quest for exotic lost city. Ignatius Fletcher, the Queen's Gift. It's blank. I wonder if there was something there. Originally published in 1952, republished in 1973. Oh, shoot. Phyllis A. Whitney, 7 Tears for Apollo. Distraught over the recent events in her life, Dorcas Brandt travels to Greece in search of peace. Perhaps there she can recover from suspicious fatal accident of a good friend, the ransacking of a room, and the sudden death of her husband. (1963). NORAH LOFTS. In 1066, Saxon England became a greedy, occupied territory subject to the cruel and Greek tyranny of the Norman conquerors. MADSELIN, a young wife of aging Saxon lord, found herself in the space of a few short days bereft of her husband, land, title, and friends. 1970. Esther Lofts. 1951, and then redone in 1972. And I think... Alright, let's do the rest of this box next week. This video will take about 12 to 15 hours to upload. So what do you think? Here, we got one more sitting right here. Doomed to Die, Dorothy Simpson. To the naked eye, she looked like a teenager, but the small, slender corpse of Perdita Master was that of a woman in her 30s, a gifted artist whose secret passions had often extended beyond the canvas. 1991. Okay. That's half of this box. We still got another half to go. Let's do the other half next week. Have a good one. And don't forget to watch Star Trek on Fridays, although I think we might be finished with that by the time this video airs. We might be doing Voyager by this point. And don't forget If Then's Mondays. We still have a few more weeks of that left. Flashback Mondays. And we've got unpacking books for the next couple of weeks. This is unbelievable. These are really old, and some of them are different colors, and covers are missing, and backs are missing, and it's just awesome. Don't you love getting an unknown present? I have absolutely no idea what's in these books when I get them. Zero idea what's in these books when I get them. Have a good one.